Thank you, Dr. Munoz, for taking the time to do a quick interview with me. The first question I have for you is, can you briefly describe your research?
Yes, well, I work for Unilever in the United Kingdom in the Safety and Environmental Assurance Center, where we give support to Unilever globally in terms of sustainability. We use vegetable oils for many of our products, like for example margarine, and well, we currently are using oils like palm oil, sunflower oil, soya oil, etc. And we are thinking about in the future using, for example, algal oils to replace, at least in part, or as an alternative to these conventional oils. And one of the questions that we are interested in getting some information is what is the sustainability profile of algal oils as compared to these conventional oils, vegetable oils that we are using now. And this is because Unilever has committed to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions from a life cycle perspective in its products, has committed to a 50% reduction by 2020. So if we decide to use algal oils in the future, we want to know what is going to be the influence of using these oils in our products in terms of sustainability. So the research that I'm presenting in this conference is about the comparison in terms of different environmental metrics of algal oils grown produced in open raceways, ponds. How these oils compare in terms of sustainability with these conventional vegetable oils like palm oil, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, and soya oil. And we were studying we were comparing the greenhouse gas emission profile, water consumption, impact on eutrophication of water surfaces, and also land use or land occupation. So that's the focus of the study, and our results suggest that basically the environmental profile of algal oils depend on is favorable for some metrics, for some of these environmental aspects. In others, maybe conventional oils are better. So you have kind of trade-offs in the different environmental metrics. And we are also highlighting some of the further research needs in this area.
All right, thank you. And some have argued that the environmental impacts from algae are just as bad as other crops being used for fuel. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think we should think about the two different routes, or if you want, the two main extremes in algal oil production. So you can produce oils by the photoautotrophic route, so using sunlight and carbon dioxide from power plants, for example. And this is the kind of route that we have studied in our research. And then you have the other route that, for example, the company Solazyme is using, that is using organic carbon, for example, sugarcane, and growing the algae in a closed reactor by fermentation. So I think these two routes of algal oil production have probably very different environmental profiles. In the heterotrophic route, the impact, I suppose, is very related to the yield in terms of how much organic feedstock you need to have in the end a certain amount of oil. So the impacts are going to be related to the agricultural stage. So the impact related to fertilizers production, the impact of using pesticides if you need them, or water use if you need to irrigate the crops. On the other hand, if you use the phototrophic route, this is quite different, because you are using carbon dioxide from as waste from a power plant. You have the ability, or you have the opportunity to recycle the nutrients. So that's that. So I think the impacts are very different depending on the technology that you choose to produce. produce the oils. I think the phototrophic growth of algae involve quite different environmental impacts as compared to those to the impacts that you would get from producing oil from terrestrial crops.
All right. Well, thank you so much for participating.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks.